I know I haven't posted in a minute, but I just decided that I want to come back to YouTube. But yeah, it was some dude. I was scrolling on YouTube, just listening to what is somebody said he watched my videos, so I asked him what he wanted to see as my return, and he requested this. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna try to make this about an hour. Cause I want to go to sleep at 10 o'clock. Cause I want to get up at 3 o'clock. So we're gonna try to make this like a good hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe get 50 minutes. You don't know. All I know is I'm happy I'm back. So, and I'm actually back. I'm not gonna take a long break again. But yeah. Anyways, this is gonna be what if Izuku had a yandere? Yeah, what if Izuku had a yandere? Let's start off where Izuku's about 8, 9, no 10 years. He's 10. He's about 10. He's in the 5th grade. No, I'm pretty sure you're 11. I'm pretty sure you're 11 when you're in the 10th grade. I mean, in the 5th grade. Because I'm 14 and I'm in the 8th grade. So, yeah. So, yeah, I was right. Jit is 10 and he's in 5th grade. As he's walking to lunch. He's walking to lunch. To his, as they get done finishing with lunch. Because, after lunch is recess. After lunch, it's recess. So they go to recess. And Izuku, he's like a popular, on a scale of 1 to 10 of popularity, he's like a good 6. Like, everybody knows him, but everybody knows him basically. Like, teachers know him, everybody know him. He just, chill. And if you haven't been talking for a long period of time, it's probably me, my mama up, and I'm not gonna be able to pause the video, so, yeah. Anyways, let's start. As they walk outside, finishing lunch, I forgot what I was gonna name her. I'm gonna come up with B. Her name is B. Her name is B. Yeah, just B. B. Alright, let's start it. As Izuku's walking, he sees a little girl sitting down, getting bullied by his friends. As Izuku, he just looks at it and moves on about his day. But then the next day, let's say he skipped to the next day, he sees it again and again and again. And then one day, he thinks they go a little bit too far by, what do they do? They said they do something extreme, and she starts crying about it as Izuku is the strongest one in school. He does have all for one, but it's straight. I mean, he has all for one and one for all, basically. It ain't cool like that. Gotta make him cool like that. I ain't gonna give him no random ass 2000 IQ quirk, but yeah, I just want something simple from, something simple and cool. Anyways, but you can only have one active at a time, and there's a cooldown to. Like, I'm a nerf him. I'm not gonna make this nigga god like I do it every what if. So yeah, I'm gonna nerf him a little bit. Like, it has to be nerfs. He can be beat. It's like, damn, really think about it. I mean, he really can if All For One and All Might really team up 100%, because he don't got 100% All For One or One For All. So yeah, anyways, Izuku, he activates his One For All, or his All For One quirk, as he takes their quirks away. As he says, as they, he's about to hit him with a water blast. again as she looks away, just like bracing for the hit, but nothing. She doesn't feel, she doesn't feel anything. As they turn around looking at Izuku, saying, Izuku, why'd you take our quirks? Come on, dude, give them back. As he says, no, I don't tolerate bullying. And if you want to be my friend, and if I want to be your friend, you're not going to bully anybody. As they say, I'm just going to get a teacher on you then. Because this brat, y'all find out who she is later. Because this brat is that freak sister. That villain sister. As she says, Izuku looks at her and she says, but I'm nothing like my sister. As she says, I'm nothing like my sister. As they look at her, as they're about to hit her, as Izuku says, wait, as they stop, and they say they run away, going to go get the teacher. Izuku picks her up, tells her everything's gonna be fine, and gives them back their quirks. He asks where the quirk is, as she says, it's you probably don't know who my sister is, do you? No, not really. As she says, my sister is. As the teacher says, Izuku, why'd you take their quirks? As he says, they were bullying someone. He says they were bullying this girl, so I had to teach them a lesson. And don't you teachers always say no bullying? If you see something, do something. As Izuku, as the teacher's silent, as he calls the principal, saying what should they do? They suspend Izuku and give the dude to detention, knowing that they will hurt her again. He secretly takes their quirks and he gives them all to the girl. Izuku, okay. That's when she creates this bond with Izuku. Well, not yet, but that's when she says, a friend, someone help me. Maybe that can be my friend. A few weeks pass, a few months, now a few years passed. Izuku's in the 7th grade, and boy, you scared the fuck out of me. Stop popping up on niggas like that. Izuku is in the 7th grade, as scary ass ain't realer than my child. That ain't no they chopping that up like this, but that got me. I know I'm late to the party. Well, I ain't late, but I just ain't talked about it. Boy, stop playing. But I ain't done. You didn't leave chopper need to sit down. His shot for 6 dig a hard though. But the video is kind of weird. Like on the last part, like he put how to be don't be a menace to society while drinking your juice in Southside Central. I think it's Southside Central. It's either while drinking your juice or while drinking your juice in Southside Central. I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to what it is. My bad. They're in 7th grade. And dang, I just noticed they ain't pussing in a minute. They're in 7th grade. Izuku and what I say her name was B. Izuku and B. They're practically best friends. But, Izuku has other friends, but he basically prepares. He basically, what's that bitch name? He suggests, or not suggests, but he wants to talk to B a lot. Basically, that's his main friend, but he has other friends. B on the other hand doesn't. She's the opposite of Izuku. She's totally quiet, type shit, and she doesn't have a lot of friends besides Izuku, and that's really it, honestly. Izuku says, Izuku looks at, no. But yeah, let's say after school, They're walking home as Izuku. Some people walk up to them. Well, no, they're walking by them. B needs to go walking by some people as Izuku hears muttering as B just nods her head down and keeps on walking. As Izuku stops walking up to the people saying, if you have something to say it to my face. Because he's really bold like that. Like, he just says. As they don't say anything, saying, like, knowing he's the strongest nigga in the school, they don't say nothing. So he was just a joke, bro. And we weren't talking about you and her. As he says, okay. Walking, and then he walked away. Walking away, he goes with B. And he says, hey, B, we always go from my place. How about I go to your place once? As she says, no. As he says, why not? It can't be that bad, right? She says no. And she runs off. She runs off while Izuku chases her. She's just waddling and running and running and running. Izuku like, God damn, she fast in a big way. You saying both of them. Anyways, she runs past the street, right? And a car about to hit her, basically a big ass van. As it swerved out the way. And it doesn't swerve, but basically Izuku on the new part of One for All. It's called Flash Step. Izuku, basically, he can only walk a certain amount of steps before time. Well, let's call it called time step, actually. Izuku can freeze time, but he only has a limited amount of steps. So he runs, but he sees the more that he walks, the more the time and the car get closer to her. So he jumps, and he jumps. The nigga basically jumps, and he basically grabs B and swings out the way at a car, being that his final move, basically, of being his final move of the little time that B has left. B is in shock of what just happened, thinking that she's hit by a car. Izuku says, you alright? I got you. Slum, slide. I'm here, gang. As she says, Izuku says, why don't you want me to come? He says, if you don't want me to come to your house that bad, then fine. As he drops her down on the sidewalk, as he continues walking. People ask, oh my god, are you alright? And she doesn't answer. As Izuku just says she's fine. Time skip. When they get to B's home, it's a pretty decent place, actually. Let's say that. It's actually really decent. It's actually, house actually bigger than Izuku's. Let's say it's a 5 bathroom, a 5 bedroom, 4 bathroom. Yeah, that bitch is actually pretty big. Ain't a mansion, man, but it is up there. Shit. Izuku says, is this why you didn't want me to see your house? As he says, I won't change. He says, B, I won't change just because you have money. As she says, I know. That wasn't it, though. But as she walks in, and, she walks in, and she sees her mom and her sister on the couch, or on the counter talking as, let's see this. She invites Izuku, and Izuku comes in, he takes his shoes off. Like a good 10 minutes later, they're in their room, in B's room. Watching a movie. All of a sudden, they knock on the door as B looks at Izuku, and the door opens as Izuku Like he he jumps under the cover as um he jumps under the cover as B says, "What do you want, Toga?" As Izuku finally clicks on Izuku's head now, he gets a flashback of all those years back while she was getting bullied because of her sister. Turns out his sister is the what's it called? Yandere, psychopath, lunatic. You know, and everybody else as she is. As she says, you need to get home faster. The police could be watching you. As you know, she says police could be watching you. They're not though. Why would they be watching me, Toga? They will have to be watching you. As she says, you know why. As he says, so your little Toga looks at B. As B, Toga says, B, that's a pretty good big cover for one person. And it looks like there's another body in there. Could it perhaps be someone under that cover? As B says no, it's and she pulls her pillow out, and it was just my pillow. Toga knows there's someone under the cover, so she rips the cover off for B, and she sees Izuku. As she instantly falls in love. Let's say that. This is gonna be real good. I want to try to make it real good at least. She instantly falls in love with him. As she says, hold on. She looks at B as B looks at her. As, you know, they look at each other. As Izuku says, he says, "Oh, we were just here because we were studying for the pre-exam test." The nigga started a lot though. As you know, Toga does not believe this shit. As she says, I have to tell my mom about this. As you know, B begs Toga not to. Toga says she wants something in return. As she says, "What do you want in return?" As she looks at Izuku. As Izuku looks at B and says, "What does that mean?" As she says, "No, you're not getting him. He's mine." As all yeah, she says, "No, you're not getting him. He's mine. You've already killed too many people. That you took it away from me." Type shit. Anyways, Izuku, you know. Oh shit, never mind. Izuku, he says that you know, nigga says that shit that nigga really says that he you know, he says, "So your sister wants me?" "Yeah, but she's not getting you." As she looks up, no. She looks up and B looks at Toga. Toga looks at her, saying, "Fine. You know what happens if mom knows I don't get what I want. I'll just tell her then," slamming the door, screaming, "Mom." B looks at Izuku as she pounces on him and kisses him, saying, "This will probably be the last time I'll ever see you. But I want you to know you're mine and mine forever." Now a lot of shock is going through Izuku right now. He likes B and B likes him back. You know, Izuku being so bland. Well, no, not wanting to ruin their relationship, so I say he doesn't say anything. Same with B. Izuku says that he gives back. I'll always like you. And she says, yeah, well, we won't be seeing each other for probably for a long time. And by the time you come back, you'll probably be Toga's. Looking down, and her mom coming in. Some 40-year-old looking lady, very detailed and very good body, looks at Izuku and says, "This is the one." And she says, "Yes, mother." Toga says, "Yes, mother." As B looks at her mom. As B goes over to her. Her mom goes over. No, B's mom goes over to B. Let me say that. And smacks B for saying, you disrespected your elder. And you disrespected. No, he says you disrespected your oldest sister and the heir to the throne. For this, we'll take away your loved one. As Izuku looks at her, Izuku looks at them, should I say, looking back and forth, saying, B, what's going on? What does she mean throne? As B looks down, and Toga blows some white dust in her naked face. Izuku instantly activates One for All as he fake sleep, but a post runs through his body, he goes to sleep, but One for All post runs through his body, waking him up instantly. He still stays sleep as he says, B. Toga says, B, thank you for the gifts. Now I'm gonna treat him like my dog. As B drags Izuku away. Time skip about a week later. Toga was found as she was missing. But they found her. She was actually in the place that Izuku was supposed to be. But, Izuku quick with it. So, yeah. Izuku and B have been, keeping secrets from each other. Or no, B. As he says, B. No. This is the night where they regroup, should I say. He says B. And Toga has been found. But he's been missing for a week. And so is Toga. But this is the night where they regroup. Knocking on B's window, she opens it, looking at Izuku as he hurries in, closing and unlocking, saying, "Okay, there's a lot of stuff you have to explain to me quick." And she says, "Izuku, what are you doing here?" He says, "We have no time for that. Just tell me, what do you mean? All the stuff I heard those a week ago. What was your mother and your sister talking about?" As she looks at Izuku with lustful eyes, saying, "Oh yeah, not being able to focus because nigga is fit like that. Like nigga has a lot of good muscles, should I say? And his shirt is ripped off, so it's kind of like beat up and bruised and tattered off, so she can see some of the abs this nigga got. And nigga is like fucking what's that nigga name? I don't know that nigga name, but nigga is like him. Nigga is fit as fuck, should I say? Okay, The Rock. Niggas like The Rock. No, niggas like Bruce Wayne, but 10 times better. Fuck is you talking about? Nigga has the strength of Alfred, beat the brakes off of Superman. Fuck is you talking about? Anyways, let me get off that. But yeah, his body's like 10 times better than Batman's. Anyways, he says, we've been, no. She says, okay, I have to tell you this, you have to listen very, very carefully. And just don't not become my friend from it, okay? You have to promise me that you'll still be my friend after this. As he says, why would I change? I'm sure. I promise. As Izuku, B says that. B says that, that they. No, yeah. Yeah, B says that that they're a royal family from the Netherlands, and we would like, let's say we're kind of immortal, should I say, but we can't die, but it takes a lot to kill us, and we're immune to most human things. As she says, so are you human? As she says, um, I'm half human, half of, as she says, half human, half deity. As Izuku's like, what the fuck? As she says, deity, what does that mean? As she says, well, as she flies up basically, popping out two wings at her fucking back. As one is black and one is blood red. As she says, why are they different? Izuku asks, why are there different colors? It depends on your quirk. If you have a quirk corresponding to your clan, then it'll be the same colors, but if you don't, then they're different. And she says, so what's your quirk? He wonders, saying, I've been knowing you for a lot, like 12 years. He says, I've been knowing you for 4 years and I haven't, and I don't know your quirk. Well, he says 4 years. She says, wow, let me show it to you. But promise me you won't freak out. As she says, yeah. As she turns her quirk on, sending chills through Izuku's spine. As she pounces him and rips open his shirt, biting him everywhere. And getting him a hickey on his neck. Why? Because she's like fuck is you talking? She basically gives this nigga a hickey on his neck, and she says she isn't able to control herself again. So, she unbuttons her shirt, basically. Nothing's gonna happen. Calm down to all my little minors out there. And please, whoever did it, this is really the only reason I really quit YouTube, is because one of you, hold on, let me use correct terminology. I was gonna say one of you N-words, but I want to get banned off. One of you people, somebody, I don't know who, but somebody reported my freaking video. You see, I'm not cussing because, YouTube want to find the small little details and take that shit down. Crazy, right? Niggas be showing twerking videos. I pop a MILF up, a Chaco's MILF. I don't want to take this. Nigga, what? Niggas be half naked on this fucking app. Y'all don't want to take that shit down. Wow, I'm just surprised. I talking about some MILF. Y'all want to take that shit down? Really? Which one really would be more fucking oh shit, that's bad? The fucking half naked ass niggas. Niggas what the fuck? MILF, nigga. A MILF's not even that fucking bad. Shit, fuck my face. Niggas wanna ban me for no reason when I stop my grind. No, nigga. I got 700 subscribers and it's 600 something, but I ain't tripping. 600 and fucking, maybe a year. That shit was really fast. The years went by quick, especially COVID happened. Let me get back on if I'm tripping. But yeah, that's why, please, whoever reported my video, don't report it. If you don't like it, just click off the video. Don't report the video. Just click off, please. Anyways, Izuku says that he says, what are you doing? As she she starts kissing him as she looks at. No, she starts kissing his cheeks and stuff, as in his face and his lips. As she unbuttons his shirt, she says, "Touch me, Izuku." As basically she grabs a knife, and Izuku says, "What the?" Like he's kind of like what the hell? But he doesn't do anything. I'm moving because he doesn't want to ruin anything. He just wants to see her quirk. As she stabs Izuku a little in, say, his shoulder. Yeah, in his shoulder, and she licks the blood off as Izuku. I mean, yeah, she drops a knife, and she comes back to her senses, covering herself up and screaming. As Izuku, she says, "I'm sorry, Izuku." Saying, no, she's like really, really nervous right now. As Izuku comforts her, saying it's fine. Saying it's fine. As she says, you won't judge me anything, right? And she says, no. I mean, that's you and that's your quirk, so, I mean, it's all good. And she says, she kisses him, saying, this isn't a quirk. Or she kisses him, saying, this isn't my quirk. This is pure love, Izuku. As she says, you won't leave anywhere. Saying, like, talking yandere type shit. Saying, you won't leave this place. This might be a one shot. The way I'm going with this, this might be. I might just start doing one shots. Like you talking about, just for like 4 a day, 3 a day, maybe 2 a day. That'd be good. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, maybe 1 at night. Anyways, Izuku says that he looks at he looks at him saying, or she looks at him. She looks at him as she says, "Wait, so that wasn't your quirk?" As she says, "No, it was. Well, part of it was, but it's." She says it's when I taste specific someone's blood and enter into a frenzy, or you could say as he says a what? She says, never mind, you'll find out soon. And she says, what do you mean I'll find out soon? And she chuckles, saying, you'll find out soon, Izuku, trust me. It'll be the day of your life. As, she says, Izuku rubs it off, saying, okay, sure. Izuku looks at her as he kisses her on her cheeks, saying, I can't wait till all this is over. Your sister's probably gonna look for me again, so as she says, I'll leave. Make sure you come to school tomorrow, okay? As she says, but everyone's gonna be. As he says, yeah, you're right. Come to the secret hideout. I'll be there. Trust me. Don't come too early or don't come too late. Maybe at 6. He says come at 7. 7 on the dot. Then I'll know it's you. She chuckles, giving him a kiss, and then leaving. I think I just heard my mom. I forgot where we left off, so I think we left off where she finished showing him her quirk, and yeah, B says, I'm pretty sure B tells him that, you know, that wasn't her quirk. As she says, that was true love, and you'll be mine. As Izuku, he says, I thought that was your quirk. As, you know, then she shows her wings. You see 2 different color wings, as one is pitch black and one is blood red. She explains what that clan thing with the quirks, and yeah. Izuku says, so if that wasn't, he says, so if that wasn't your quirk, then what was going on? As she blushes and looks at Izuku. As Izuku's heart gets to pump. He sees that, you know, this girl, or his best friend, the girl that he likes it. As he looks at her, and, you know, he says, do you like me? She says, no. No. She says yes. She says yes. Izuku. How the fuck you miss a waffle shot, bro? Izuku says, I like you too. You know, but, you know, she says that she won't be able to be with you. Or she says, I won't be able to be with you though, because my sister wants you. She always gets what she wants. Well, she won't get me. That's not true. As Izuku says, what do you mean? She says, what do you mean? As she says, you know how I told you about royalty and everything. Well, I'm kind of last in line from royalty or to becoming the queen. As he says, why? Because I was born last. As, you know, he looks at her and he says, you don't have to be a queen. You could be a princess. As he walks closer to her, as he says, my princess. As, you know, their faces get closer and closer. As Izuku kisses her. As Toga barges in her room. Seeing Izuku kissing her, she gets furious. As she screams. As her mom runs in the room. And knowing that Izuku's probably in there, she casts a spell. Making Izuku bound to be in her room. Yeah. Izuku didn't want, you know, he didn't want this to happen, so he agrees that he'll go with Toga if they just leave. If they just leave B alone. As, you know, he says, I'll go with you if you just leave her alone. Toga looks at B and Chuckles as he says, when do I have to leave? I'll give you an hour. I'll give you an hour. B mom says, as you know, as he says, as she says, I'll give you an hour. His mom, walks out the room, and so does Toga as she chuckles, saying, I told you I always get what I want. Izuku says, I guess so. Looking at B, B says, this is just not fair. As he says, let's get back to what we were doing. But he's going to escape. I already got a plan for that. Kissing her and kissing her as they start kissing with tongue, a lot of tongue. As you know, Izuku rips off his shirt as he takes off her shirt. And you know, they look at each other as you know, Izuku, or she removes her pants as she takes off Izuku's too. And you know, they basically get freaky. Bro, why the fuck? They basically get freaky. Basically, you know, she touches him everywhere. She touches him everywhere. As you know, Izuku, or she takes off Izuku's jaw as his meat slaps her in the face. As you know, she chuckles as saying, "This is my first time doing this." Izuku says, "Mine too." But you know, as their little hour passes by, they see that, you know, they see that they could be, or no, let's just say that a lot of things happened that night, and let's just say that Izuku busted a nut inside 2 weeks later, and then as they're done, Izuku's laying on top of her. As he says, you know, he complains about how Toga's not as nice as B, and you know, you don't even cook me anything. Toga looks at B. Toga looks at Izuku, saying, you don't know why I don't cook you anything. Because you're grown enough to cook your own damn meals. As he says, so why did you even want me? Why couldn't you just leave me and B just to be together? Why'd you have to bother us? She looks at Izuku saying, I don't know. I just hate it when my sister has something I don't. So you're jealous of your sister? No, I didn't say that, did I? I mean, you pretty much did. As she smacks him and shoves a knife in his right arm. And she shoves a knife in his right shoulder. Looking at Izuku, she you know, it clicks basically. It clicks basically. And basically Toga is a yandere. And when she sees someone she likes, she gets them. And that's maybe why, she always gets what she wants. And maybe B could be one too. But that's, that switch to it hasn't activated. But that one time when they were in the bed together, it could have activated. Well, let's say when she was on top of him, it activated. But, she was too embarrassed to show it. Anyways, let's get back to it. Another week has passed. It's been a month, and B still has no sign of Izuku. She doesn't know if he's alive. She doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know if he's alive. She really doesn't know. So she tells her, no. She asks Toga because she sees Izuku, and he says, "Oh, that boy, he's dead." And she screams, and she says, "You're lying. You wouldn't kill him." As she shows the picture she took, it really does look like Izuku's dead. And she says, "No, sis, I'm joking. I wouldn't kill someone I love." But honestly, I don't know where that boy is. I gave him to she says, I gave him to some guy. He said he'll fix him for me. And it's been a week since that happened. I haven't been called or anything. As, he says, who's the guy? All for one. As she knows nothing's gonna happen. But knowing Izuku's quirk, she's kind of confused. As she says, "Oh, okay." But instead of being happy, instead of being confused, she feels a slight joy knowing what Izuku's quirk is and knowing All For One's quirk. Maybe thinking they have a relation, maybe they're father and son, maybe. As Izuku he looks at All For One, saying, "Dad, when will I be able to go back to be? I don't know, son. But Toga, she'll be gone. She won't bother you anymore." As he says, "Thanks. Are you gonna kill her?" "No. I'm gonna send her to Alcatraz Island. pretty sure no one has ever escaped there. And besides, Toga is not even that smart. He says, besides, if Toga did escape, she would be dumb just to show her face again. As he sighs, saying, so, maybe I will kill her, maybe I won't, son. We'll find out soon. Looking at his son and hugging him, saying, I want to miss you. I haven't seen you in such a long time. Hey, your mom, she's as she says, your mom, she's still doing hero work. She doesn't want you involved in the villain life, but I mean, she did fall in love with a villain, so I don't understand how. As Izuku says, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. They look at each other, and he says, so how far have you gotten with your mother's quirk? Not that far, Dad, but, you know, I hope I'll get better at it. He says, well, what about mine? Well, with yours, you know, I'm doing pretty good, you know. I think I have about 8 or 9 quirk slots, but with mom's all for one, or one for all, I have maybe about, as he says, 12%, maybe. He says, oh, okay, that's nice. I'll make sure to tell her next time I see her. Dad, honestly, she probably doesn't want to see you again. All the things you've done. He sighs, saying, yeah, you're right, but who cares? As he sighs, saying, I'll deal with you later, Izuku, but just to let you know, we will get you back with B. Time skip about another month. That's a lot. Time skip about a week. Toga's suddenly going missing. Everybody in the LFB is kind of like, what the hell? Does anyone know where she's at? He says, I sent her to Alcatraz because she fucked my son. She fucks with my son relationship. Even though she wanted him, she couldn't get him because my son already had someone. As she looks at, they all look at Izuku as the name twice. Twice says, I loved her, and you took her away from me. All because of your brat son. As he says, I didn't mean to say, he shivers, saying, I didn't mean to say that. As Izuku walks out, as, All For One walks up to him and ripping his head off with that strength cook of his. Throwing it aside, he tells Kurigiri to clean it up. Kurigiri being one of his closest friends, he asks, why does he have to do it? As he sighs and asks someone just to clean the damn mess up. He says he'll be back. Going to go reunite his son with the woman that he loves. He reunites them. They reunited a week later. He says, so I guess you're yandere, huh? As she says, no. As, she says it in kind of a shy voice, but haven't seen Izuku in a long time. She still doesn't trust him a little, thinking he's been brainwashed or something. As he says, he touches her, saying, You know I'm still the same, right? I just haven't seen you in such a long time. Wait, what the fuck? Yeah, he says, I just haven't seen you in such a long time. She looks at him as he said, all for one says, well, I'll be going now. As Izuku basically, now there will be definitely more parts than this. This is basically, I just want to say, explaining the backstory. And yeah, Izuku looks at them. Izuku looks at her as he kisses her. As she says, Izuku, wait. As she says, I'm gonna show you something. But don't be mad. I already took care of it. As she does my pregnancy test, as the baby is basically dead. Or basically, no, let me continue on. Izuku says, what does this mean? As she says, I'm pregnant. Or I was. As Izuku says, you were. Does it mean you? As she says, I didn't know what to do. We're only in high school, Izuku. Or he says, we're only in high school? Yeah. No, over there in middle school. Yeah, she says, we're only in middle school. As he says, I guess. Sorry. As this, let's say this right here explains, this right here is explaining their, like I said, backstory. And then people will be like I know it's not yandere-ish yet, but it will get yandere-ish. Okay? And this is only the first part explaining the backstory of how they met, and type shit. So I'm not pretty sure if I want to name this a part 1 or backstory. I guess I'll still name it part 1. But, if you did watch it all the way through, I don't know if you did. I really don't care if you didn't. But it's just backstory, should I say. Probably gonna put that in the title. I'm probably not. Who knows? Anyways, Izuku looks at her as he says, we could have talked about it at least. And she says, everyone would have judged me, being they would have thought I was some kind of slut. Not me. As he chuckles, saying, it's alright. I guess you did the right choice. He says, Izuku, she says, Izuku, are you mad? No, I'm fine. As, she knows he's mad that she got rid of her, that she killed his child. As, Izuku wants his child back. As, basically he just says that it's alright and we'll get through it. She looks at him and says, thank you for not, being super angry about it. And he says, no, it's fine. He says, no, it's fine. As she says, thanks, kissing Izuku. Yeah. He says she looks at Izuku as, she looks at Izuku as, they basically, they kiss. As she says, wait, I don't wanna, as she says, yeah, you're right. As you know, they you know, basically the next day they go to school holding hands as everybody sees them, as everyone's looking at them, saying the two widows are dating. As Izuku grabs the person who sat that by his neck, daring to revive his neck, and he speaks something else. As he says it was just a joke. As you know, then nigga really got scared for you talking about. As yeah, nigga really got scared. You know. Anyways. Yeah, anyways. So actually yeah, that's it. She tells him to leave him alone, as Izuku chuckles, saying fine. But, you know, as everybody, like, a couple of days pass on, and all the girls want Izuku, as, you know, all the girls want Izuku, as they all, you know, they all look at, they all say, well, we have to get rid of her first. Looking at, what's her name? Looking at B, as B hears this, as she says, she kisses Izuku to show that, you know, that she, to show that you know, that he probably won't just sit there and get, or should I say, break up with her. As he says he probably won't sit there and break up with her. Or no, that's what she basically showing. Basically. Izuku says he whispers in her ear, I seen those girls talking. As he hugs her, like her lower her waist. As he says, you don't have to claim dominance. He says you don't have to claim dominance, and it's alright. Oh no, he says you don't have to claim dominance. Because, yeah. As she says, I know that, Izuku. I just want to see their faces. Chuckling. She says, okay. He says, okay. As he picks her up and kisses her more. She, you know, everyone looks at her, getting angry at her, and walking away screaming. B says, I want to kill those two for trying to touch Izuku. As they continue kissing, as the teacher says, they do that somewhere else, not in school. He says fine. As B gets up of Izuku's, gets from Izuku's hand, and they, you know, and B basically just, she basically just looks at Izuku as Izuku was just, you know, He's chilling. Izuku looks at, he looks at his little, should I say, no, we're not gonna say that. No, that's too bland. Izuku, as he looks at B, he says, "Hey B," as she says, "Yeah, what is it?" She says, "I was hoping maybe we could do something after we got done from school." She says, "Well, what do you want to do?" And she says, "You'll find out." As she chuckles and fine. As a police officer barges in the room, saying, "B and Izuku Midoriya, come here." As they both look at each other. As the officer tells them to get up now. As they both get up, and he says, he says, "So you, Izuku?" As he says, "Yeah, what do you want?" He says, your sister sent me." Looking at B, as Izuku says, "That's impossible. She's in prison." As no, she just escaped just now. As they hear footsteps clopping, clop, clop. As Izuku grabs B and teleports away. As Toga says, "Izu." As without finishing her sentence, she sees that no one's there, as she screams. As she kills the whole class. No, that's too fucked up. That's really fucked up. She says, "Find him now." As they all try to look for her, but they couldn't find her. And let's just say that B and Izuku, let's say our forces are knock on his door. As he sees that it's his son, saying, "What do you want? What do you need?" As he says, "Well, my we're in trouble right now, and I kinda need your help." He says fine, and that's where I'm gonna leave it off at.